Welcome to Mindful Mostly. I'm Andrea Collins. This is a podcast for those of us who are mindful, like most of the time. This podcast is about wellness and self-improvement and motivation and manifesting, but also just about realness, right? We're all into that stuff, but we got lives to live too, right? Hey, did you hear this past week, these results that came out that made me laugh, and I knew I have to mention that on the podcast? Denim sales have been dropping since 2010, while they found that yoga pants sales have skyrocketed since then, which surprises none of us, right? Hey, so on this mostly Minisode, we are going to talk about a challenge for the weekend, something I really want you to try. A quote that blew my damn mind this week. My new tool for weight loss, because I've dropped 3 pounds with doing nothing but this, and I'm hooked. And Monday's surprise guest, who, no big deal, is friends with Oprah. Okay? So, first, to kick things off, please subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss an episode. I'm telling you, there's some seriously good ones coming up. And then also review, because that is how more people can find out about it. And I would just really appreciate it. I want your feedback. I want you to know what you think of the podcast. So if you're listening on, let's say, the iTunes app on your phone, just scroll down a little bit and you'll see the stars. Naturally, you're going to hit 5. No. Hit what you want. Leave any kind of review that you want. And I would really appreciate it. Plus, when you are listening to the podcast, I want to know what you're doing. So join the community on Instagram at Mindful Mostly and tag us in a story or one of your posts. I'm listening to Mindful Mostly while doing blank. Just let me know. Now, okay, let's get right into it. This is your challenge for the weekend. Tomorrow morning or Sunday morning, I want you to do this. Bed-itate. It is meditating, but in bed. How easy is that? Here's the deal. We've got to fit in things where we can, right? Maybe it's like doing yoga while you're waiting for your coffee to brew. Or it's doing some stretching during a commercial break of your favorite show. Whatevs. In this case, I want you to stay in bed. Don't get out. Just stay where you're warm under the covers and take some deep breaths. And just have a few minutes of silence before you reach for your phone. If you've got to reach for the phone, then put it back down and just enjoy that silence and that moment of hopefully not having to move. Maybe you don't have kids, so that's awesome. Or you do have kids, but they don't know you're awake yet, so that's awesome. Or they didn't wake you up. Bed-itate. Try to do that this weekend, even if it means waking up a little bit earlier than everybody else. Now, somebody sent me a book called How to Be a Better Person, which I can't decide if I'm offended about that, but it's really great. It's How to Be a Better Person by Kate Hanley, and it's 400 simple ways to make a difference in yourself and the world. And Bed-itate was actually one of the 400 simple ways. So I highly recommend this book. It's really like bite-sized and snackables, and it's got some cute ideas in it for you. Okay, so what is my new tool for weight loss that I'm hooked on? It's black tea. Plain, old school orange pico black tea. Because green tea is like the pretty friend. It gets all of the attention. Whereas black tea is the more competent friend. It does good stuff. And this past week, I found on Monday morning, I just woke up and I wasn't wanting coffee. And usually in my coffee, I put a little bit of almond milk and then maybe some stevia. But I decided I just want some black tea. I feel like something clean but caffeinated. So I've been having this all week, and I have to tell you, the caffeine high I'm getting from it is so good. It feels like a cleaner caffeine high. I sound like a crack addict. And also, I dropped 3 pounds this week, and I haven't even been eating all that healthy. I had a couple of works out, like nothing, I'm not doing anything different. So I'm going to stick with this black tea because also some new research came out about it. They say that black tea boosts weight loss by altering gut bacteria. So it's doing really good things in the old tum. And when it comes to health benefits, they even say that black tea is overshadowed by green tea. But many studies have hailed this black tea and green tea as well for just helping you out with weight loss. They gave a bunch of mice plates of nachos and then said, "Have at it, boys." And the mice ate the nachos nonstop. Okay, maybe it was like something else, some other little pellet nacho. And they gave them black tea. And they found by the end their guts had changed, even though they were scarfing down all the gross stuff, the unhealthy stuff. And their metabolism went up. So try out the black tea this weekend, everybody. God, I love caffeine. Okay. What was my quote this week that blew my mind? Finding it in the notes of the phone because I had to stop when I heard it and write it down. Here it is. People live the lives they're willing to tolerate. Wow. One more time. People live the lives they're willing to tolerate. That's like a mind bomb. That's so true. You know that friend who is like mostly single all the time because she's like, I'm not going to take shit from some guy. Hell no. And then she ends up marrying like the most amazing guy in the world. And you're like, having a backbone does make a difference. That girl got what she wanted by living by that mantra. Same for those people who didn't take that, crappy part of a job. They were just like, I'm sorry, I would rather not. They say if you know how to say no to your boss, by the way, you're going to get so far in life. People live their lives they're willing to tolerate. So keep that in mind. There's so many situations where you can probably think of this in your life where at one time you were tolerating something and you can kind of blame yourself a little. But it's true. Like the onus is on ourselves. And I think that we have to remind ourselves that if we are in a sticky situation or a situation where we're not happy, most of the time there's something that we can do to right that situation and grow above it to live our best life. So think about that one over the weekend while you bed-itate. Drink your black tea. Monday's guest, and this is the last thing I'm going to tell you today. Monday's guest, he is an author, an entrepreneur, and inspirational speaker. He founded thedailylove.com, which is this great inspirational website. And Oprah Winfrey recognizes him as, quote, an up-and-coming thought leader of the next generation of spiritual thinkers, okay? So there's like Gabby Bernstein, another couple people, and him. It's Mastin Kipp. He is so great. You guys, he is so awesome. He is going to be on the show on Monday. He is going to give us real takeaways, let me tell you. He is going to tell us how to claim our vision and define our purpose. He will tell you how to figure out the missing link to achieve your goals with purpose, how to get unstuck, how to clear those blocks that are holding you back. That is all on Mindful Mostly this coming Monday. Damn! Until then, join the family on Instagram at Mindful Mostly and review this podcast on iTunes. And I'll talk to you next week, okay?